and welcome to episode 33 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. You can find all of the links to my various social media platforms in the description box below, as well as links to my Etsy and Ravelry shops, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. I also have show notes available for this episode over on my blog, which will again be linked down below. So if you have any other questions or want a bit more information about any of the things I talk about, you can check those out. I will say, of course, that if you have any further questions, you can always ask me in the comments below or reach out to me over on Instagram as a DM or send me an email at thegracefultangle@gmail.com. So please reach out to me if you have any other questions. I know YouTube comments can sometimes be off, and I know how frustrating that is, but just know that that is not something that I can really control. I have been doing this for almost 7 months now, and they still go off and on, and I'm not sure why. I'm doing everything on my end that I can. I have a couple of next steps that I'm going to try to figure out to solve that problem once and for all, but until then, just don't hesitate to reach out to me because I want to be as of much help as I possibly can. So before I jump into the podcast, I just want to say I hope that you all had a Merry Christmas if you celebrate, or just a wonderful week if you didn't celebrate, a wonderful long weekend. I myself had a wonderful Christmas, and my family is actually observing the 12 days of Christmas for the first time this year, so we are still celebrating and still enjoying a break. I have a break from school. It's been a really, really wonderful season. It's been different. You know, there's things that we would usually do that we haven't gotten to do, but there's been other things that we have done that we've never done before, which have been really nice. So I have a couple of things to share, just a couple related things that I received that I thought it would be fun to talk about, but I'm going to save that for a little bit later. For right now, let's go ahead and hop into a couple of finished objects. Okay, so if you tuned in to the episode last week, you know that I had the crazy goal of getting a whole bunch of socks done. So I am knitting socks for my entire family for Christmas. I have tried very hard to keep it a secret. I think it is a secret to some people and not a secret to others, but that's okay. It's very hard to keep a secret in this family, especially if it's something like this and you want to work on something mindless when you're watching TV or something and you all watch TV or play a game together. It's very hard to keep a secret. But I had a big goal of getting all of those done, and I just had so much on my plate, and I couldn't quite finish them all, which is okay. And when I said that, I actually didn't know that we were going to observe the 12 days of Christmas, and so it actually works out great. I am just giving my Christmas presents to my family a little bit later, and it's going to be perfectly fine. I am so excited to give these gifts, and I can't wait to do so. I have something else to go along with the person's pair of socks, and I just can't wait for them to open it. But until then, I'm just going to be knitting away and hopefully getting them done at some point in my life. Anyway, with all that being said, I did finish my sister's pair. I had just barely started these. Actually, maybe I had one finished. I do not remember. It's been a whole blur, but I finished my sister's pair. This is what they look like. I love this yarn so much. I'm going to have to make myself like a pair of these for myself because I just love the colors so much, and I know that she is too, and that makes me so happy. So this is Knit Picks Static in the color Hope Chest. I used the Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop recipe or pattern. I actually just kind of went by her video tutorial, and I have it memorized by now. So I kind of just have it in my head, I guess. But in short, I did a 56 stitch sock, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, which I just really loved the look of. Heel turn, heel gusset. They are amazing. I also did a wedge toe. That's what I've been doing for all of my socks. I've actually never done a rounded toe. And I just love the look of a wedge toe so much that I haven't really had the motivation to try anything else. I don't know. I definitely want to learn more about socks and sock knitting and sock pattern designing in 2021. That's kind of one of my knitting goals. But for right now, I am just so thankful to kind of have like my own formula kind of down pat. And I'm really excited about that. So these are Emily's, again, 56 stitch count. I've definitely had to learn how to size socks for my family because we all have different feet and we all have different needs when it comes to the way that socks fit. I have found that I myself need to go down a size, so I am almost officially the smallest person in my family. Even though I'm the oldest of 4 children, I'm almost the smallest. I have like an inch of height, maybe just half an inch now, over my sister, but she's bigger than me in other ways. So anyway, my point is I have everybody else's formula like down now, I think, except for my dad's. That is still coming up, but my own is definitely something that I'm still learning about. So anyway, absolutely love these socks. As you can see, they don't entirely match, but I kind of love that they don't. I really like the way that they look. I know that Emily is not going to care that they match because she's just not that kind of person. But yeah, really excited about these and very thankful to have them complete. And then my other finished object is actually the commission scarf that I was working on. And I will insert a picture of that at the end of the podcast if I remember. Hopefully I remember. But I had the goal of finishing that last Tuesday. I did it. I'm so excited that I did it, and I was able to get a few pictures of it. I did not have the time or like the necessary lighting or anything to be able to film a little video about it, so I do apologize for that. But it is now done and with its owner, and I am so happy about that. So I have a couple of works in progress to talk about, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have 2 works in progress to talk about today, and they are both socks. It's hilarious, I know, but I've been knitting so many socks, and I'm not mad about it. So, the next pair is my mom's pair. I actually have the first one done. Let me show you that. I have it on a blocker here. So this is what the first one looks like. This is, again, Knit Picks Static. All of my socks from my family are out of Knit Picks Static. And this is the color Quest. So it's really beautiful. Kind of dark and moody. I really think my mom is going to like it. I'm so happy about these. And then I am working on the second one, and I actually just finished the heel flap and gusset. So I am on the foot now. We've got a little bit of tangled yarn here, but I have finished the leg of the sock. And they almost match, which is a little bit frustrating than them completely not matching. But it's okay. I tried to make them match, and I think I missed like one repeat up here. I don't know. It'll be okay. But anyway, so I just got past the heel flap and gusset, and now I just have the foot and the toe to go. So I'm hoping to get these done soon. I am doing the same exact socks for my mom as I did for my brother. They have about the same size feet now. Currently, I'm sure that will change. I'm sure my brother's feet will grow, but as of right now, they have about the same size feet. So for my brother's socks, which look like this, here's actually the other one. I finished these a while ago. Before these, I did 60 stitches, and then I just kind of modified the heel flap and gusset to accommodate for that amount of stitches. And that's exactly what I'm doing on my mom's socks, and they're going really well. She actually tried on my brother's socks because I needed to see if there was any hope of them fitting my brother. As she kept saying how much she liked the fit. So I decided to just stick with that same thing for her socks. And I think that it's going to work out really well. On all of these socks, I forgot to mention earlier, but I am using a size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. And right now I'm doing magic loop. I've kind of been going back and forth between magic loop and 9-inch circulars. But I've definitely done more magic loop. So I guess that's my preferred way as of this moment. I also really want to do some with DPNs. That's like one of my 2021 goals is to knit a full pair of socks on DPNs. We'll see if I can do that, but I don't know. I've never been very comfortable with DPNs, and so, but I really want to be. That's the thing. I really want to be. So, yeah, but that is my first work in progress. My second work in progress, I'm actually going to switch. It's another pair of socks, but I have the first one done, and so I'm going to interchange my blockers here so that I can show you this first sock. So here is the first one. This color is not going to come out right because it is nearly impossible to get it to show up correctly, but that is pretty accurate right there. I know I myself am completely blown out, but that color is accurate. So I believe these are called the Toasty Warm Autumn Socks by Lily Knits. Is a blog. She has a free on her blog, but then you can also find a paid PDF version if you prefer to work on patterns that way. But these socks, I love them so much. This is kind of my Christmas cast on. I cast these on Christmas Eve, and they're going so well. I love the stitch pattern so much. It is similar to my Genesis texture, which is, one that I designed. I'm sure I'm not the first one to do it, but that was the first design ever released. And it's similar to that, but not exactly the same. And I really, really love it. So I have the first one done. And in this bag here that I made, I am working on the second one. And I have finished the toe, and I'm now working on the foot on the second one. So here is my progress. Ooh. I'm using size 4 needles for these. She recommends a size 6, but I actually went down to a size 4 just to ensure that they would fit my foot well. And they totally do. I'm really, really excited about these. And these are knit from the toe up instead of the cuff down, which is super fun. And they also have an afterthought heel. So that is what this heel is. It's an afterthought heel. And I really, really like the way that it turned out. Yeah, absolutely love these. So I did make a couple of other modifications. I did shorten the length of the foot, and she tells you how to do that in the pattern. It's kind of expected for you to do it, but I did do that. I also added a bit of length to the leg, and then I did a 2x2 rib cuff instead of a 1x1. The only reason I did that was just because I thought it flowed with the pattern just a little bit more. It's totally not necessary. It does not alter the pattern really anyway. I just thought that I would kind of prefer the way that would look, and I was right, and I totally do. So there's a couple of modifications, but overall, I really, really love these socks, and I am so excited to have them done soon. My goal is to have them as a finished object next week, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm not going to show you any new designs this week, but I am going to talk about a couple of Yoani things that I received for Christmas that are going to be designs soon, and I wanted to share those things with y'all. And then I have one other thing that I wanted to share with you as well. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Okay, so for design talk today, I wanted to chat about a couple of different yarns that I received and that I am really excited to work with. So the first is Yarn Bee Comfy Classic. I got 2 colors of it and multiple skeins of each. So my hope is to actually create a blanket design with this. So I'm going to be swatching later and choosing a stitch pattern and those sort of things. I'm not actually entirely sure I have enough to do a blanket, but I think I do. And once I swatch and kind of figure out all of the measurements and things like that, I'll know for certain. But I absolutely love these colors together. Again, this is Yarn Bee Comfy Classic, which is by Hobby Lobby. This color is Ocean Water. It's like my favorite teal. And then this is the color Blush. So they're so beautiful, so my palette. I love them so much. This yarn is super interesting. It is 48% viscose, 30% polyester, and 22% nylon. So it's a super fun blend. I'm really excited to try this out here soon. So really love these colors. It also comes with 150 yards per ball. So that's not a ton of yarn, which is why I'm a little bit nervous about a blanket, but we'll just have to see. I'll definitely keep you all updated on that. And then the next thing I got is something so exciting. My parents and I have kind of eyed this at Hobby Lobby for so long, like ever since they originally had it. And I've thought about getting it a few times actually, because with the 40% off coupon that you can apply to a regular price item at Hobby Lobby, it really is not a bad price at all. But I knew that if I was going to spend my money on it, I wanted to know exactly what I was going to make with it. And I just didn't at the time. However, it is this, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I know I would say it wrong, but it is this, I guess, yarn kit is what I'm going to call it. I will show you the brand. there's the brand. I can't say it. I know, like, I can hear it in my head. I know exactly how it's supposed to sound, but I can't exactly say it, and I don't want to offend anybody by butchering it. But anyway, so this little kit comes with 109 little bitty balls of yarn. Let me open it up and show you a couple of them. So it comes with these little bitty balls of yarn. They are, let me see if it says it on here, 10 grams each. And it's not a fingering weight yarn. It is I think it's like a DK weight. Let me see. 100% moisturized cotton, which is perfect for the weather that we have in Alabama. My hope is to design a blanket pattern. That's my goal. I'm not entirely sure how to go about it yet because I want to come up with a really original idea. We'll see. I'm thinking, like, I want to do... There's so many patterns out there for blankets that use mini skeins or scraps, and they're all amazing. And I have been wanting to design something like that for so long now. I just haven't done it yet. And I have a couple of ideas in my mind on how to go about it. I have 2 ideas currently that I want to try out that I haven't personally seen before. And so I'm hoping that one of those kind of works, but we'll have to see. Overall, I am so excited to have this beautiful yarn to work with. I am so eager to get started, but I'm going to take my time, really come up with a design, and then just enjoy making it. So yeah, there's so much yarn in here. The first thing that I want to do, I'm hitting everything with the lid, but the first thing that I want to do is like lay them all out in like rainbow order and make the most satisfying picture ever. So like that's the first thing I want to do as soon as like, you know, the weather is good and I can do it outside. But really excited to work with this yarn, and I'm hoping that I can come up with a really, really fun idea to use it all. I want to use like every bit of every ball. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I have like a, I don't know, maybe anxious feeling about it just because I want it to be something beautiful and amazing and cozy. Like I know I want it to be a blanket, so I want to use it all the time. I don't know. I'm really, really excited about it though. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below because I am open to any and all ideas. But yeah, really, really excited about that that amazing gift. And I seriously can't wait to get started making something with it. So that is it for Design Talk. I actually have my last pattern of 2020 releasing tomorrow as you're watching this. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's kind of like a full circle pattern. Just know that while 2021 will look a bit different in terms of designing, I still have so many ideas that I cannot wait to share with you guys. And that are just going to be so, so great. So now let's go ahead and talk about a little devotional. So for my devotional today, I wanted to talk a little bit about reflection. So as I'm sure we all realize by now, 2020 is quickly coming to a close and 2021 is just on the horizon. And I know for a fact that 2020 has been an unexpected year. It's been full of hardships for a lot of people. You know, COVID kind of took us all by storm, took the whole nation by storm, really. And then, of course, you know, other things happening in our nation just kind of made it a rough year for a lot of people. And while that is true and valid and definitely something that is hard to accept but necessary, in that same vein, there were so many wonderful things that happened in 2020. And I want you all to kind of take a moment to just realize those things in your life and reflect on those things and how many good things are going to happen in 2021 as well. So reflection is kind of something that I like to do at the end of every year. And it's not in a sense of, you know, seeing all the good and the bad things that happened in the past year and then kind of forgetting them all and moving into the next year like on a blank slate. That's not something that I personally like to do because for me personally, 2020 has been life-changing in so many ways. I have grown so much as a person and as a Christian and as a young woman, and I don't want to forget it all. I want to remember this year for the rest of my life, and I want to remember every single thing about it. Every hard thing that happened and was challenging, and how that thing was overcome by the goodness and the faithfulness of God. And that is true for everybody in different ways. I understand that, but it's true for everyone. Whether whether it's something as simple as you were able to see family at the end of the year, and you hoped so longfully that you would be able to do that, or maybe in my case, at the beginning of January, I was a senior in high school. In this past year, I was a senior in high school, and I had no idea, what the year was going to hold, where I was going to go to college, if I was going to go to college, all of these questions that are kind of just thrown onto a high school senior, and it's really hard for that person to battle. It's something that I personally, I thought about it, the entire time I was in school. I always had that in the back of my mind, like, yes, I'm going to go to college, but I didn't know what for. And those are really hard questions to answer. But the Lord showed Himself to me in unmeasurable ways. It was absolutely amazing to see Him open doors that I thought were going to stay closed. And it just goes to show you how, remaining hopeful and putting your trust in Him instead of the things of this world, it just shows you how beautiful that is and how impactful it is. So I just want to encourage you that no matter what's happening in your life right now, I pray that you reflect on this past year and acknowledge everything that happened, good or bad. But instead of focusing on the bad things that happened in the bad things, I hope that you find something good in those bad things, and find something that you can learn from and carry forward to 2021 in the best way. I know, there was a lot of expectations at the beginning of 2021, going into it like, COVID would be over, there's things that we thought were going to happen and that aren't. There's still so many regulations that are going to stay the way they are, at least where I live, and so many things that are honestly just going to stay the same. But at the same time, there's so many things that are going to change, and both are beautiful, both are important, and we have so much to learn from every circumstance. So that's kind of my encouragement for you today. I want you to drop something in the comments below, something good that happened in 2020, or something bad, but and on a positive note, and on a this was good or this was bad, but I learned this good thing from it. For example, this is something that I think a lot of people can relate to. Obviously with stay-at-home orders and things like that, we've been at home a lot more than usual. Now, my family personally, I have been homeschooled for the past 7 years-ish. And then as a college student now, most of my work has also been done at home. So I'm at home a lot, period. I'm definitely a homebody, definitely an introvert. But other people in my family aren't. And we have had so many great moments together as a family. And so that is something that I will remember forever. Even though so many plans were canceled and so many things that we were looking forward to didn't happen, we were together for such a good part of 2020, and that in and of itself is absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to spending the rest of this week with my family and doing all sorts of other Christmas festivities because we are still celebrating. And I have lots of exciting things on the horizon. So really, really excited for 2021 and all it's going to hold. So I wanted to chat about a little bit of a life update, which I've kind of already done. And then I want to share one other little Christmas gift that I received that kind of shows a different side of me. And I wanted to talk about it with you guys for just a second. So first off, a life update. Again, as we all know, Christmas happened and it was such a wonderful day. I hope it was a wonderful day for you, even if it was a bit, unusual and not celebrated the same way. There's still beauty in it. So we had Christmas. Now we are still celebrating. Again, we're celebrating the 12 days of Christmas, and it has been wonderful so far, and I am so excited to continue this little celebration. We have a gathering, although right now it is still completely up in the air, with my mom's side of the family. It's a day that I look forward to every day of the entire year. However, this year it is definitely going to look a lot different. We aren't entirely sure what's happening yet, but that'll be this next weekend, I believe. So I'm hoping that, it's a good day, even if it is a lot different than what we're used to. So one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is 2 cookbooks that I received for Christmas. So I don't know if you know this about me. I am pretty much an old soul, like through and through. I love to bake. I love to cook. I enjoy cleaning. I enjoy knitting, crocheting, designing. All of the things that an older woman would probably enjoy. I enjoy them. And I know that, I kind of mean that in the best way, I guess. I kind of like to do, I don't know, I guess a little bit of a modern twist on all of those things. One joke that my dad says all the time is, as a dad, you usually don't get to see your kid be a grandmother, and he jokes that he does, because that's basically what I am at this point. However, I got a couple cookbooks for Christmas, and I absolutely love them. I have already made one thing from them, and I'm going to show them to you guys. So I'm sure you've heard of them, but it is the Magnolia Table Cookbooks. I knew of the first one, so months ago, we went to a store, it's called Second and Charles. I'm not sure, I actually don't know if it's a chain. I don't know if there's only one. I'm not entirely sure at all, but it's basically like a used bookstore. You can bring books and they can resell them, but then there's also new books, and it's an awesome store. It's so much fun to go to. There's so many books, and it's so well organized and neat. It's a wonderful store. I love going in there all the time. As much as possible, which isn't very often this time, or this year, I guess. But anyway, months back, we went to that store, and I was looking around, and I saw this book. It's by Joanna Gaines, and I absolutely loved it. I looked through it for quite a while that day in the store. Didn't get it, but I already saw, multiple recipes that I wanted to try. And so one of my Christmas gifts this year was actually volume 1, which is this one, and then also volume 2. So I am so excited to make so many things from this cookbook. I made one thing, so I'm recording this podcast on a Sunday, and Saturday night I made pretzels for supper. So, teensy bit of history. We have a membership to Sam's Club, and so about a month ago, I guess, we got their pizza pretzels. It's like a soft pretzel, and they put mozzarella cheese and pepperoni on top, and we had that for supper one night, and it was so delicious. I fully enjoyed it, and ever since then, I've kind of been wanting to recreate it myself using homemade pretzels, and then, again, cheese and pepperoni. And so there was a recipe in this book for homemade pretzels, and I decided to make it and then turn it into pizza pretzels. So that's what I did the other night. I want to show you a picture of the pretzels that are in this book, her picture, which turned out a lot better than mine, but mine were still delicious. Let me see. I might not even be in the right book because I have not. Let's see here. Okay, had to speed that up and add some music because it was taking a while, but these are the pretzels that I made last night. So this is her picture. Obviously, mine did not turn out near that good. I decided to half the recipe because we didn't want to have any leftovers. And she says that it makes about 12. It's actually a little bit confusing because she says divide it into 16 equal pieces. And then down below it says makes 12 pretzels. So I'm thinking it actually makes 16, and there's just a little typo. I'm not entirely sure. But I decided to half it, and I made 7 pretzels. 6 of them were like pizza style, so I just baked them, exactly as the recipe says. After they were completely done baking, I just added cheese and pepperoni and then put them back in the oven for a couple minutes. And then the 7th pretzel, I actually brushed it with some melted butter and then added cinnamon sugar on top, and that was just kind of like a sample. I just divided it 6 ways, and we tried it. So it wasn't a huge amount, but it was so delicious. They were so yummy, and I cannot wait to make them again. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if baking is something you want to hear more about. I absolutely love doing it. I do it all the time. Cooking is something I have such a passion for as well. I'm not really good. Well, like I said, also, I haven't really tried, creating my own recipes. I do have one for a no-bake pumpkin pie that I did earlier this year that was so fun to kind of release and show you guys that side of me. But yeah, mostly I follow recipes, but I really enjoy it. I've learned so much in the kitchen already. Just having a big family, you kind of have to know a few things. And then just with my personality, I really enjoy learning more about that. So anyway, really love these cookbooks. Again, let me know if that's something you want to hear more about in the future, because it's definitely something I can talk for a super long time about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching episode 33. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you're working on, a highlight from 2020, if you want to hear more about baking or anything else in the comments below. I always want to hear from you guys. Again, don't hesitate to reach out to me on my other social media platforms if you have a question, or shoot me an email and I will do my best to respond. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye!